We've seen a massive run-up of popularity in digital collectibles this past year, and I believe that the collecting of digital assets will continue for years to come as we get closer to moving our way into the metaverse. But today, I want to talk about how they stack up to real-life collectibles. Growing up, I really enjoyed watching shows like Storage Wars or Pawn Stars, just to see some of these gems get discovered in storage units, or to see some of these really rare items get brought into the Pawn Stars shop and then get lowballed by Rick.
I'm pretty firm on my $35,000 price.
It's tough. I'll give you 10 grand.
Because who doesn't love that? On the show Pawn Stars, we have seen some of the comic books that we see on Veve today brought into the store and get ridiculous valuations for up to $100,000. And then we also see some of these comics that are available on Veve right now on eBay going for a ridiculous amount. And for the most part, these prices scale pretty well from the real life adaptation of the comic to the digital comic that's on the Veve app. For the most part, looking at the comic section on the Veve app in the secondary market, we see this huge fluctuation in prices for most of the comics. But when you look at the main comics, such as Marvel #1 and Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man #1, we see a pretty consistent price point for all of the secret rares. I believe that these are in hands of real collectors that know the real world value of these comics and are keeping the price pretty steady. I believe they reflect the real life price as people know how scarce these comics are in real life. This may be the only chance for a real collector to hold on to, let's say, a Marvel #1. As of right now, looking at Marvel #1, even if you had the money to buy one, finding it is going to be the problem because they're so scarce that one hasn't hit the market in so long. I believe that the last sold comic of Marvel #1 sold in November of 2019 for $875,000. Now, I believe if that comic were to hit the market again, that would be in the millions due to the fact that I believe the whole collectible trend has really taken off this past 2 years when it comes to NFTs and real life collectibles as well when it comes to sports cards, Pokemon cards, and things like that. But what about the other way around? As we see official IP on Veve, most of these collectibles have real world toys as well. Take for example the Black and White series for Batman. Currently there are 5 series on the Veve app, but in real life there are 100 black and white characters from the Batman series. At the beginning, when I started collecting Veve collectibles, I ended up picking up a Todd McFarlane, then I quickly wanted a physical one to match in real life. And so I scoured eBay and ended up paying $250 for my first edition Todd McFarlane figurine. With these Todd McFarlane toys, in real life, there are only 5,000 physical statues, whereas in the app, there are 7,500 statues. But with the price of Todd McFarlane in store going for $2,600, which is 10 times the price of the physical item, it leads me to believe that eventually people will go after the physical collectible to match their digital collectible as well. I believe that people have scoured the internet trying to look for that Todd McFarlane version 1 due to the fact that they have the Todd McFarlane in the app. And right now, if you try to look for the first version of the Todd McFarlane on eBay, it's pretty hard to find anywhere. Right now, the version 2 of the Todd McFarlane Batman toy series is available on there, but that's again going to be the second edition, not the first. As a collector, I wanted to secure the NFT version and the physical version in real life so that I have the matching set. And I'm not the only one to do this. I quickly found out that Dan Schwabel was doing the exact same thing, and that's how we started talking about digital collectibles and physical collectibles. And if you look at his interview in the last video that I showed, his background actually has a couple of black and white series Batmans, and he told me that the reason why he picked those up was because of Veve as well. And there's so many more stories like this. We have people that are also going comic book hunting. It created this fun game where people go into stores to try to find comic books that are available on Veve as well. I believe with the IP that Veve holds, we will see a lot of toy manufacturers come into the NFT space and sell in the digital format, and vice versa. I believe that the digital collectible drastically helps out the toy industry. As for me, I never would have bought this Todd McFarlane if it wasn't for my digital collectible. One thing led to another, and I ended up not just getting the Todd McFarlane Batman, I actually learned a little bit more about the colored Todd McFarlane, which that one has even less in real life. It was a limited release in Japan only, and there were only 500 of them in the world, and I managed to get my hands on one. I paid a little bit of a premium for it, but I think it's worth it. And then it didn't stop there. I ended up picking up the entire season 1 of Batman Black and White in real life as well. So now I have the matching counterpart for the digital one and the physical one. I believe that I'm one of the few people that have that full collection of that season 1 collectible. And collectors love to display things as well. And the cool thing with the Veve app is that you're able to display your AR collectible next to your physical one. And in the future, who knows, we go down a road with VR glasses or AR glasses or holograms, and then we're able to display our AR collectible collectibles with our physical collectibles as well, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. Now let's take a look at another important part of physical collectibles. It's the authenticity, and I believe that Veve will eventually partner up with some of these companies like, let's say, Nike or Adidas. And an example of this where authenticity comes into play is in the Pokemon collecting world. There are a lot of fake Pokemon cards that are out there, and with the way that people are manufacturing nowadays, they're getting really good at faking cards. And the same goes for the shoe industry as well. We see a lot of sales of fake Jordans or fake Nikes on the secondary market, and if there's one thing that collectors hate, it's fake stuff. And this is where Veve comes in, because with a partnership with Pokemon or Nike or Adidas, they could sell an NFT of a shoe or a bag or of a Pokemon to tie back to a physical collectible of a card, and this would allow for authentication on the blockchain to allow you to buy and sell with confidence on the secondary market without having to worry about getting scammed and getting a knockoff or fake version. Veve has made me 10 times more of a collector than I already am, and I know that it's turned some of you into new collectors as well. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if Veve has turned you into a collector, leave that in the comment section below and tell me what that experience was like. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.